The Galactic Council Hall, a massive structure floating amidst the stars, had seen countless meetings between the most powerful species in the universe. But today it was tense. The room buzzed with nervous energy as delegates from dozens of alien worlds whispered among themselves, eyes fixed on the large, central display. The focus of today's meeting wasn't diplomacy, trade, or interplanetary disputes. It was far more dire. The Zraak, a mysterious and predatory species that had appeared from the farthest reaches of the galaxy, was attacking worlds without warning or reason. Entire civilizations were being eradicated overnight, their once thriving planets left barren. Every species had sent their finest warriors to fight them, and every species had failed. The Zraak were relentless, cold, and unstoppable. They seemed to feed on the fear of their enemies, striking with terrifying precision. One by one, the Galactic Council species had faced them and lost. The Vraxis, with their legendary tactical minds, were defeated in their own home system. The Carrack, known for their brute strength and warlike nature, fell in less than a week. The Draxians, proud masters of technology, had their advanced systems turned against them. The Zraak left nothing but destruction in their wake. It was clear to the Council. No species could stop them, except perhaps one. "They're sending humans." A voice broke through the murmurs, filled with disbelief. The statement echoed through the hall. Humans? The small, relatively quiet species from the outer arms of the galaxy. Known more for their diplomacy and adaptability than their strength? The species that had only recently joined the Council, still regarded by many as weak and untested? The notion seemed absurd. At the head of the Council, the Zyraxian Prime, a towering figure with silver skin and glowing eyes, spoke with authority. "The humans have volunteered to send a task force. It is their planet Theron IV that has fallen into Zraak territory." Murmurs of concern rippled through the room. The Zraak's incursions had terrified even the mightiest of species, and the idea that humanity, a species most had assumed to be prey, would stand up to such a force seemed suicidal. "They are doomed," whispered a Draxian delegate. "The Zraak will tear them apart." Beside him, a karate general, a predator with razor-sharp teeth, sneered. "Humans do not understand the monsters they are facing. They have no idea what they've walked into." But there was no turning back now. The human task force had been dispatched. All the Council could do was watch and wait. On the far edges of Zraak-claimed space, the Terran strike fleet approached the planet Theron IV. The ships moved in a tight formation, sleek and deadly, their dark hulls absorbing the light of the distant stars. Unlike most galactic fleets, the human ships didn't shimmer with brilliance or boast extravagant designs. They were purposeful, grim, and efficient. On board the command ship Resolute, Commander Elias Hart stood at the observation deck, his sharp eyes focused on the distant planet. The Zraak were already there. The surface of Theron, for once green and vibrant, was now marred by scorched earth and craters. The Zraak had begun their hunting ritual, stalking any survivors, toying with them before finishing them off. Hart's jaw clenched. He had read the reports, studied the Zraak's tactics. They weren't just invaders, they were predators, and they viewed every other species as prey. "Status report," Hart ordered, his voice calm but firm. "Zraak forces detected on the surface and in low orbit," replied his tactical officer. "They're watching us. They always do before they strike." Hart nodded, his expression unreadable. "Good. Let them." The Zraak had never met a species that fought back like the humans did. When their scouts ventured too close, they were obliterated by the humans' ships with brutal efficiency. But that wasn't the surprise. The real shock came when the humans descended onto the planet. Zraak hunting parties, confident in their ability to hunt any living creature, quickly realized their mistake. Instead of running, instead of hiding in fear like every other species had done, the humans came for them. They didn't hide in bunkers or scatter in terror. They hunted back. Squads of Terran soldiers, clad in adaptive camo and armed with weapons the Zraak had never seen, moved silently through the forests and ruins of Theron IV. They were precise, calculated, and ruthless, outflanking the Zraak ambushing them, and using tactics so alien to the predators that they didn't realize they were being hunted until it was too late. The Zraak, who fed off fear and chaos, found none of it. Humans didn't break. They fought back with terrifying calm. One by one, Zraak hunters fell, caught in traps or picked off by sniper fire. Every tactic the Zraak had perfected over eons of hunting was turned against them. The Terran soldiers didn't just survive, they dominated the battlefield. Back at the Galactic Council Hall, the real-time footage of the battle was being displayed for all to see. The Council had expected to watch the destruction of humanity, another failed attempt to resist the Zraak. But what they saw instead left them stunned. On the screen, a Zraak warlord stood amidst the ruins of a Terran outpost, snarling as it tracked a group of human soldiers. But just as it prepared to strike, it faltered. It had lost its sense of control over the hunt. His head snapped around, eyes wide with realization. It wasn't the hunter anymore. The camera caught the moment perfectly, when the hunter became the hunted. From the shadows, a team of human soldiers closed in. Within seconds, the Zraak warlord was dead. The council chamber erupted in stunned silence. How is this possible? A Vraxis general muttered, his many eyes wide with disbelief. The Zraak have never been beaten like this. The karate general, once sneering with disdain, was now silent, his sharp teeth grinding together as he watched the humans tear through the Zraak forces. The predators of the galaxy had finally met a species that didn't see them as monsters, but as prey. On the surface of Theron 4, the last remaining Zraak warlords gathered for a final stand. They had underestimated the humans, and now they were being pushed back. But the Zraak didn't retreat. They would fight to the death as they always had. Commander Hart stood with his soldiers on a ridge overlooking the Zraak encampment. His eyes narrowed as he studied their movements. The Zraak were cornered and they were angry, but Hart knew something they didn't. The humans weren't just survivors. They were hunters. "Begin the assault," Hart ordered, his voice calm, as if the chaos below was just another hunt. In one final, coordinated strike, the Terran soldiers descended upon the Zraak. It wasn't a battle. It was an execution. Every move was precise, every shot calculated. Within minutes, it was over. The Zraak, once feared throughout the galaxy, were defeated. When the footage ended, the Galactic Council sat in stunned silence. The Zraak, the greatest predators the galaxy had ever known, had been hunted down and eliminated. And the humans, once viewed as insignificant, had done what no other species could. "They're not prey," the karate general whispered, his voice filled with awe and fear. "They never were." Across the room, the delegates of the most powerful species in the galaxy exchanged uneasy glances. They had all misjudged humanity. They had seen them as weak, small, and inconsequential. But now they knew the truth. The humans were not the hunted. They were the hunters.